Yes, behind you. Okay, go ahead.
This may be a little off subject. I don't know if this is in your wheelhouse or you're watching it at all, but the Mel Gibson interview with Joe Rogan talking about ivermectin and fenbendazole. Do you know anything about that, or is that outside your purview?
No, I know a whole lot about that. In fact, many MDs sent me clips of him talking about that, going, oh my God, he's quoting you.
Okay.
So in the year 2020, I did an interview with Dr. Lee Merritt. Who knows her?
Yep.
Dr. Lee Merritt, you can blame her for all this. Dr. Lee Merritt asked me, okay, Dr. Ardis, the chiropractor, thank you for educating and warning and bringing all the medical profession up to speed on remdesivir and the hospital protocols killing people with COVID, as calling it COVID deaths, right? Is there anything else in medicine we've been lied to about? She wanted to know as a medical surgeon. And I went like this. Holy crap, I've been doing interviews for 6 months, all day long, morning, night. No one's ever asked me anything outside of remdesivir and the hospital protocols. And I looked at Dr. Lee Merritt and I said, I can't believe you just asked me this. You really want to learn from me? And she goes, yes, I bet they've lied to us about other stuff. And I said, oh, Lee, you know, I've had 20 years of people coming to my practices in Tennessee and Texas who were all diagnosed with cancer, many of them, and every single one of them did not have cancer, but they all had different forms of parasites in their body being diagnosed as cancer. And when I put them on anti-parasitic herbs, not joking, plants, extracts, and sometimes I told her I would send them to feed stores to get ivermectin the last 20 years. I said, you need to go research. There's a huge cover-up in medicine and in the cancer industry. The medical profession teaches you, Dr. Lee Merritt, and all MDs that parasites don't exist in America, and there's a reason they tell you that. And every medical doctor believes it. Okay, there's no parasites here, they're only in other countries. Okay, newsflash, America is not the land of the free of parasites. There is no invisible force field that when you come on a cruise ship from some other country in an airplane, it does not fly through a zapper field that wipes out all the parasites in your body. They're everywhere. In fact, have any of you ever had a dog or cat ever in your life that was actually born in America? Where the hell did they get heartworms from if parasites don't exist in America? Okay. I told her, you need to start doing research into how anti-parasitic drugs cure all people with cancers around the world. And then you should ask yourself, why do anti-parasitic drugs always cure people with cancer? It's because they don't have cancer, they have parasites. They have actually taken oncologists in schools, in medical schools, and they show them textbooks and slides and go, this is this is stage 1 ovarian cancer, stage 2 breast cancer that you're looking at. But they're already told there is no parasites in America, so they're never going to look at that and go, are you sure it's not a parasite? No, they're only indoctrinated to see what they want them to see. So as egg sacs of parasites grow, as the parasite worm grows, those are the stages of cancer they tell you you have. So Dr. Lee Merritt, 4 years ago, I told her to go do this. And for the next 2 years, every day I got research studies, videos, documents, all confirming what I told her. And she will tell you right now to this day, every interview she does, she goes, there's no such thing as cancer, it's only parasites. Dr. Ardis woke me up. And now you see all these published articles by medical doctors, including Paul Merrick and those of flccc.net, that ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine, and fenbendazole, all anti-parasitic drugs, can be a cure for cancer. You don't need chemo and therapy and radiation.
Crazy.
The truth is, you don't need those damn drugs either.
Amen.
I hate big pharma. Why do you need those drugs? Wormwood is identical to its benefits of ivermectin, and it has none of the toxic side effects of ivermectin. Chloroquine comes from citrus fruits. Why do you need hydroxychloroquine? A drug from Merck. Why do you need Merck's? Why do you gotta give Merck $5 for every day you're gonna take that drug? It's ridiculous. Helda Clark in Canada wrote a book in 1992, y'all should read it. And I told Dr. Lee Merritt to read it. She wrote a book titled All Cures to Cancers, or The Cure to All Cancers. She took 100 different cancer cases, different cancer cases, and in 5 days cured all of them. 5 days cured all of them.
And then she was kicked out.
And she recorded it all and actually wrote them all out in a book. How she cured them all, and she only used 3 supplements to do it.
What was her name?
Helda Clark, H-E-L-D-A, Clark, H-U-L-D, Hulda, H-U-L-D-A, Clark. What's
Well,
that?
that they say she did, but
No. She was probably
So red clover, you'll see that it's red clover, black walnut hulls, and sweet wormwood.
green, black walnut, cloves, and wormwood.
There you go, green. You can't have the black. Black is when it falls off the tree, oxidizes. It's the green walnut hulls. You're right.
Where do you get wormwood? Where do you get that from?
No, you can get them from any organic supplier of supplements.
Or you can
Just
order
ask
from
yourself.
You can order.
Just ask yourself first.
Yes.
at the health food. In your studies, have you found any correlation between the suppression of the functionality of the NK killer cells and COVID or shedding?
Yes, in fact, in the book, I go through all the immunological effects, the reduction of T cell function, B cell function, all lymphocytes. I go through all of it to show you that these are all published side effects of venom from snakes in the human body.
And will the patches restore your NK killer cell functionality?
Yes. Did you know all NK cells, natural killer cells, T cells that are called thymus cells, B lymphocyte cells, which are bone marrow cells? Did you know all of them have nicotine receptors on every single one of them? And snake venom turns it off? Do y'all remember hearing Dr. Zev Zelenko talk about something called vaccine-induced AIDS?
Yes.
I'm the only one that explains to you and shows you in the book how that's created. They're called CD4 cells, and in AIDS patients, they're all gone. They're not even existent. And then I show you all the studies that snake venom destroys CD4 cells. You look like an AIDS patient.
Yeah.
This is how they did it. And now they're getting.
Can I quickly contribute? Faith things to that.
Yeah.
One of the leading integrated doctors in this county that has a large cancer clinic told me years ago, if you biopsy the cancer tumors, it's just the fecal matter parasites, number one. And number two, I bought albendazole and ivermectin in Nepal a year ago, 4 cents for albendazole and 40 cents for ivermectin.
That's awesome. Super cheap, but not in America.
Not here. Albendazole's $500 a tablet here.
Yeah, massive. All right, in the back. We'll go around all of them. Don't worry.
So have you read Dr. Leonard Horowitz's book on he wrote it like 30 years ago about the coming viruses, Ebola, AIDS, and he attacked Fauci in that book.
I've only seen the reference, but I haven't read the book. No.
It's amazing.
Good, I want to copy. What's it called?
It's called, oh gosh, my brain just.
I'll just look up Horowitz, 30 years ago, Fauci. There we go. Oh, just so y'all know,
Emerging viruses. is what it's
emerging
called.
viruses, very good. Did y'all know that Anthony Fauci oversaw the HIV epidemic?
Yes.
Okay. So,
What a guy.
40 years later, he just repeated the same experiment.
Yep.
How many of you know that HIV has a spike protein on it? It's called GP120. Yeah. How many of you know that HIV has a spike protein called GP120, and every researcher that's an HIV researcher says that its DNA, the spike protein of HIV, is identical to snake venom protein? And how many of you know that nicotine is named to be a cure for HIV? I show you the studies in the book, by the way. And how many of you know that rabies has a spike protein called RGP, rabies glycoprotein, and it is also published to be homologous or identical to snake venom. And it is cured with nicotine too. In fact, in every research study on rabies, I actually had somebody walk up to me in an event in another country and said, "Oh my God, after watching your interviews, I took my dog to the vet who had got bit by a rabies dog. The actual veterinarian just shaved a little hair and put a nicotine patch on it and was cured overnight."
How do you
Nicotine
do
is a
that?
published cure for rabies and HIV because of the snake venom spike proteins. HIV was snake venom, COVID, snake venom. The cure for HIV by Dr. Anthony Fauci was what? AZT, a drug. How many know what AZT is? It is a poison. But how many know what it comes from?
Snake.
It's actually made from the venom of a sea creature called a marine sponge from the Caribbean Ocean. And all of its published side effects in someone who gets stung by its venom are identical to the signs and symptoms of every AIDS patient. So they give you AZT, they pump you full of venom, and you create death and an outcome that looks like a disease process, and they can just tell you this is normal HIV